Seize the day. Old babies, why aren't you asleep yet? A must-watch wilderness building episode before bed, guaranteeing you a beautiful night's sleep after watching today. I guess your phone battery is around 60%. And you're currently lying in this posture. If I guessed right, leave a comment to let me know. If I'm wrong, take a photo and post it in the comments. Now, please put your left foot behind your neck. Let's dive straight into today's main topic. Because the house built a few days ago was too beautiful, it was taken over by his wife. Our helpless guy felt a fire burning in his heart. Since you took it, I'll just build an even better one. He arrived at another pre-selected prime location. A man of few words, he gets straight to work. First, he clears away the surrounding rocks. Then he gives the ground a thorough cleaning. A clean environment brings a good mood. Once again, the classic wild hemp rope positioning method. After marking the area with a shovel, he can start digging. The soil here is much more solid, making it unsuitable for digging a deep pit. So our guy switched to a new building technique. First, he digs 3 20-centimeter trenches. Then he lays stones to build the foundation. But the wilderness isn't always smooth sailing. Like this huge rock right here, hard to move barehanded. Even if our guy pushes until he's red in the face, it's to no avail. He must find a way to assist himself. Fortunately, his massive 250 IQ reclaims the high ground. He spots a large tree in the distance, and thinks of the lever principle. So, Mr. Tree is out of luck. He chops it down, drills holes, and mounts it on a trunk. Thus creating a basic lever mechanism. Of course, our guy's move wouldn't be that simple. He ties a larger stone to the back end, and fixes a lot of ropes to the longer end. This makes lifting the stones an absolute breeze. I must say, his brain really works wonders. The subsequent building requires a lot of wood, so our guy plans to collect it in advance. He uses rolling logs to move them near the foundation, then gives them a gua sha scraping treatment. Now they can be rolled home, ready for building. At this point, the lever also acts as a lifting aid, easily handling logs weighing over 100 pounds. Filling it with gravel and dirt makes it steady as a mountain. Still giving our guy a 5-star bad review. I keep saying it, but he just can't remember. Once he has fully secured all 6 main pillars, he can start laying stones for the foundation. Of course, he needs to dig some clay first. Man, you've already dug such a massive pit here. You can't just keep exploiting the same spot. With the clay, mixing it with water creates wild concrete. He skillfully carries stones and stacks them layer by layer. In less than 2.5 hours, he gets the most solid foundation. Since stone resources are abundant nearby, he plans to build the bottom walls entirely with them. First, he uses wild hemp rope to mark the pillar's width. Then continues laying stones along the lines. It's quite similar to regular brick, only this is much more difficult. He must constantly adjust based on the stone's shapes. Only then can he build neat walls like these. Walls just like this, with a gentle breeze and warm sun. He uses cold stones to construct a cozy home. After 3 or 4 days of relentless effort, several stone walls are finally waist high. He already has a plan for the spot next to the main door. First, he builds 3 half-meter high short walls, then finds wooden sticks to frame the top, acting as a support structure. This allows him to apply mud and continue laying stones. Anyone who watches wilderness builds knows this structure. It's obviously a fireplace and stove. With the support, he can continue building upward and gradually narrow the wall's opening. Since the following construction needs some wooden planks, our guy has to pause his current work. He first uses a few wooden sticks to build a simple workbench. Then he can select suitable logs to start sawing. This would be extremely hard for anyone else. But our guy is highly experienced, splitting it into several pieces in under 2.5 hours. The thickest middle part is his top choice. He saws it to length, then cuts grooves on the edges. Finally, he spreads a thick layer of wild concrete, although I don't really get what he's making. Once done, it can be installed on the edge of the fireplace. Then he resumes his previous work. He also brings in some wild rebars for the middle section. This way, he can enjoy BBQ here every few days. Once it reaches the expected height, he goes back to search in the rock pile. This smooth stone slab, right here, is exactly what he wants. First, he uses a chisel to split it thinner, then draws straight lines for easy cutting. His technique looks highly professional. In a few strokes, as if by magic, he turns the stone slab into a perfect square. If it were me, I'd have given up and called the next person long ago. He makes 2 stone slabs of the same size in a row, waiting for him to install them. I realized how clever that previous wooden board was. The top and bottom pieces firmly clamp the stone slabs, instantly transforming into wilderness double doors. Of course, this is for easily adding firewood from the inside. Building the top requires some skills. To create a beautiful arch shape, and the middle is reserved for the chimney. He keeps laying stones until it's flush with the wall, then moves on to the main pillars, snapping straight lines using an incline. Then he carves out 2 finger-wide mortises along the lines. All pillars are treated the exact same way. Seeing him carve grooves on both sides of the log, I guessed what he was up to. He intends to slot them into the mortises as walls. This lever is seriously useful. Although it's not very high, it provides an initial lifting force. Then he just goes with the flow and easily lifts the logs. This tells us there are no unsolvable problems, only solutions you haven't thought of. Although it's already quite solid, he remains cautious and further reinforces it with wooden pegs. This is the true professionalism of a wilderness building master. The space reserved in the middle is for the home's window. The setting sun in the jungle shines through the treetops, illuminating our guy's focused face. Normally, you'd say it's nothing special, but at this moment, he seems to be glowing. Soon, the middle wall reaches its highest point. As for why he built the middle wall first, it's because he plans to mount the roof on it. He just needs to cut mortises at the right angles on 2 logs. Securing them with wooden pegs makes a beautiful roof truss. Our guy tried lifting it and found it ridiculously heavy, so he had to add more counterweights to the lever. This way, he can lift it onto the wall in one go. Then secure it to the slanted walls. I don't know when, but he secretly put a cap on the chimney. Perhaps his previous home without a cap suffered the wrath of a storm, so now he's learned his lesson. The other side is built exactly the same way. Once the final main beam is installed, the roof takes shape. Then our guy knocks together a square frame. This is the window for the wall on the other side. At this point, several walls are still unsealed. To speed up the progress, our guy decides to take a different approach. Splitting the thick timber right down the middle makes for excellent wall panels. This not only saves effort, but also adds a unique charm. And the inside still looks neat and tidy. I suspect his brain is wired differently from ours, automatically refreshing with good ideas every once in a while. The reeds at the foot of the mountain are in their seeding stage. Just a gentle breeze blowing by. They look like a group of graceful dancers, swaying elegantly in the wilderness. Our guy plans to collect some and take them home. As for what they're for, you absolutely won't guess. If anyone guesses right, I'll put my left foot behind my neck. He collected a full bucket, looking like a large bouquet of beautiful flowers. Maybe he can even use them to find a wild wife. Of course, his actual wife can't hear this. After dropping them off at home, he chops some dry firewood. Looks like he plans to light the stove first. Look at these beautiful fruits. Oh wait, they are pine resin branches. Why do I always want to eat them? He gathers a lot, packs them up, and takes them home. Then using a bent bamboo piece and a stainless steel cup, he makes a makeshift dry pot. This allows him to melt the pine resin from the branches. He prepares a whole large tray of it, then pairs it with the reeds to seal the wall gaps. I wonder if anyone guessed correctly. I bet everyone got it wrong. This peculiar method, only our guy could think of it. How did he even combine these two things? But I have to say, the result looks pretty good. Once the pine resin solidifies, it not only seals and insulates, but the whole house will also emit a fresh fragrance year-round. After that, he built something in the yard that looks like a campfire setup. Then he covers it with sawdust and a lot of wood. Wait a minute, man, this doesn't seem right. He completely stuffs the inside with wood, then spreads another thick layer of clay over it. Now, I finally see it. He's actually planning to make charcoal. A true all-around hexagonal warrior with no weaknesses. While waiting, he continues to perfect the interior floor base. He quickly creates two neat sunken sections. By now, the charcoal is fully baked. He cracks open the dry clay shell. Does it sound crisp? Crisp means good charcoal. He got a massive pile in just one go. Not satisfied with this, he immediately starts round 2. Wait, man, what are you doing? I thought he was saving it for winter heating. Who would have thought it's just for laying on the floor to prevent moisture? What kind of rich family is this, being so extravagant? Absolutely a reckless waste of good resources. Utterly inhumane. Just this small floor base used who knows how many hundreds of pounds of charcoal. If used for heating, it would last a whole winter. The floor is quickly laid, and the leftover wooden planks can't go to waste either. Our guy makes himself a few beautiful shelves. He installs them all over the walls inside the house. These unique wooden strips are window louvers. He somehow found a few wild screws. The effect of these blinds is better than the previous generation. This guy's skills have definitely improved after installing and testing it. The result is absolutely. Now the interior just needs a comfortable large bed. So, our guy gets busy again. He first draws lines on the square timbers, then begins a flurry of chopping and chiseling. His mortise and tenon technique is pushed to the limit. He effortlessly assembles it according to his plan, creating a Simmons-level big bed without a single nail. Oh no, this bed is genuinely. Opening the fireplace door at the foot of the bed can also heat the house. An absolutely brilliant design. He instantly decides to move right in, and lines the whole wall with his pots and pans. Brewing a pot of hot tea at this moment. This life is incredibly comfortable, but the construction work must go on. After all, the roof and the doorway are still completely empty. As usual, he carves mortises into the pillars. Looks like he's planning to install the main door. Just 3 wooden planks and a few crossbeams. And it's successfully done. The gaps are also sealed using pine resin. Once dry, it can be fixed in place using hinges. Look at this smoothness, comparable to Dove chocolate. Then, the door latches made from these scraps are also quite exquisite. Once drilled and installed, they will secure the cabin. As for the side pillars, he first installs 2 crossbeams, then places the pre-mortised logs on top. After laying down a layer of thick planks, it becomes a perfect workbench. In the future, he can work or prepare food here. If a friend visits, they can also make do and sleep here. Now, the dirt floor no longer matches our guy's vibe, so it needs to be paved with stone slabs. He extends the paving all the way outside the door, flush with the fireplace. The result looks even better than the tiles in my house. Now the interior is pretty much done. So, he plans to finish the roof today. The processed square timbers act as rafters. Sunlight shines through the wooden strips, casting beautiful shadows. White clouds slowly drift into the distance. It doesn't take long for him to finish all the laying. Finally, he reinforces the edges with wild iron nails. Now it's time for the waterproof tarp to take the stage. Just a little securing, and it becomes completely watertight. An absolute must-have artifact for wilderness building, and the final ceiling is left to the versatile reeds. He first bundles them into suitable sizes. This makes lifting and transporting them later much easier, so he can easily grab them whenever needed, even while on the roof. With the materials ready, he just needs to lay them in overlapping layers. The roof gains the sturdiest protection. Let the rain beat down, and the wind blow hard. It stands firm and unmoving. During the installation, he takes the chance to make something a bit different. Frequent viewers of my videos should be familiar with this. This kind of tree is famously thick-barked, with a hollow core. Hollowing it out makes a perfect wooden bucket. Our guy also makes a wooden lid of similar size. After drawing lines with a charcoal pencil and carefully chiseling it, he gets a perfectly sized bucket bottom. To prevent leaks, he specially seals it with pine resin. Then, he installs a hollow bamboo spout on the side. Who knows what it's for? He crafts another, smaller wooden bucket the exact same way. After finishing, he brings charcoal to wash it, cleans it, and lays it at the bottom. Then the second layer is fine sand. The third layer consists of larger stones. I believe seeing this, everyone can guess what it is. That's right, it's a water purifier he made for himself. After all, encountering unclean water is unavoidable in the wild. Filtering it makes it much safer to drink. Seeing how useful this material is, he brings in 4 or 5 more without a second thought. This time, he smears a layer of clay on the inside. The remaining 3 are drilled and fitted with a unique mesh structure. The more I look at it, the more familiar it seems. Is this guy planning to steam buns in the wilderness? After finishing that, he starts hammering away at some wood again. In a flash, he builds a foldable wooden table. It absolutely blows my mind. As for a matching stool, that's a piece of cake. Seeing it works well, he takes it back inside to hang up. At this point, the entire house is basically complete. Our guy brings out his treasured ingredients and tools. Planning to cook a dinner later to reward himself. Fresh tenderloin, sprinkled with secret sauce. Then evenly spread out in the steamer to marinate. His dough kneading technique is unparalleled. The prepared flatbreads are also placed in the steamer. As for the side dishes, it's the familiar trio of onion and peppers. Once fully prepared, he sparks the charcoal fire. Oh boy, I thought it was a steamer, but you're telling me it's an oven, and a high-end 3 or 4 tier structure at that. Once the tenderloin is crispy outside and tender inside, it's ready to serve. Look at these flatbreads, they are also golden and crispy. Under the glow of the camping lantern, he sits at his folding table, enjoying tea brewed with water from his purifier, savoring the perfectly roasted meat, and the golden crispy from the helplessness of his house being taken over. To this stone fortress showcasing all his skills, our guy used an ultimate feat of creation to deliver the most beautiful comeback. This is not just a house, but a sublimation of creativity and a peak of romance that an independent soul can achieve.